Obeah man. The Obeah man there on social media. Pulling 10,000 US, 5,000, 6,000.
Big facts. Big facts. No disrespect to nobody, but yo, listen, he ain't lying, bro. People that is doing all types of different stuff on the media, right? And some people might look at it and go, that's kind of questionable. Is that of God? You know what I'm saying? And they be racking up all types of donations, bro. Hundos, 2 hundos, 4 hundos on the Cash App, on the pay, on everything. So when you see a true man of God, why aren't we supporting a true man of God or a true woman of God or a true child of God that's out here doing the work of God? Please explain that to me. Man, listen, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I don't know about y'all. Yeah, I'm definitely contributing heavy with this effort right here because Jamaica needs clean up, and I'm talking about the spiritual kind, because it is a cultural issue. It is deep rooted in the individuals and the people and the way they live in. It's not just about, you know what I'm saying?
Up,
like,
y'all?
it's not just about, oh, a crime plan or put this together or put that. No, there's a deeply rooted issue with the cultural spirit of Jamaica. We have moved away from our culture altogether. There's a whole different spirit that is activated in this country of late. And I'm talking about the last few years up until this point. You feel me? Shout out to Stevens and blessings to you, Pastor Chambers. Keep doing the work of God.
US, 25,000 US out of your pocket.
Yep.
To get rid of somebody, to murder somebody,
Facts.
to possess somebody with a demon.
Facts.
Hallelujah. And all the Lord is asking.
All types of money to do evil and do wickedness to people, bro. Putting their money to Obeah, man. Yo, that's facts, bro. Yo, listen. I remember I didn't heard. I see this video. First time on the program. Salute to you, Stephen. I remember that. Welcome to the platform. You know what I'm saying? Hey, all I ask that you chat, respectfully, comment respectfully. You can disagree, but disagree respectfully, and we cool. You know what I'm saying? Keep it grooving and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Hey, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. But yeah, man, they put all this money together to do evil to people. I remember this dude that he came on. He did a video. He said that this police officer did all of this to him, stole his money, stole his car, stole his clothes. And he said, yo, if he has to do the most and go to an Obeah man and do this, he has to get back his money. This man is on video, putting it on social media, telling them that he's not going to go to God. He's going to go to the baddest Obeah man to get this police officer to get back his money and everything he took from him. And I'm like, this is where Jamaica is at? No, this is where we at. We at the point where we're so bold and brazen, where our belief is directly into Obeah and those things, and not into the Creator and the Most High. Yup. This is the reason why the earthquake and the tsunami is going to hit Jamaica. This is the reason why that prophecy is and will be fulfilled. Because if people are showing you, God said they're worshiping idols, they're moved away from me, right? You see all the bloodshed that's going on? That is why it's going to happen. And you notice how quiet those visions about the tsunami and the earthquake have gotten? Final warnings. I see all of my videos that I've been putting out. Pray, repent, prepare, educate. And every day I come on here, educate. That's the message.
What's up, Garfield?
Invest into the kingdom of God. Hallelujah. Glory be to God. Your investment, the Bible said, the least that you have done unto one of these, you have done it unto me. Hallelujah. I am not requesting to get rich or to build a house in Beverly Hills. That's not my request. My request is for the access.
Shots fired.
Yes. Transportation, boxes, microphones. Hallelujah.
Shots fired,
boxes, y'all. Instruments, so we can get on the street.
Number 28.
They are dying to gospel. And if there's someone out there that the Lord has impressed upon the heart to invest a transportation, a bus, hallelujah, a bus or a 7-seater or
hit the
something.
like button for me, guys.
Hit
the like button for me, guys, please. Share the live with at least 5 people. That's all I ask.
Hey, man, listen, I'm going to give my little bit that I can give. And my little bit compared to what he needs is a little bit. That's why I say a little bit. I'm going to give my little bit that I can give. Yep.
Hallelujah. I go along with our brethren, our prayer warriors, and our intercessors because these people helps to keep the anointing. Today is the 8th of October. Christine Gilbert, yes, and a new beginning. Yes, Christine. Um, Gilbert, today is the 8th of October. And his word will never go void. So the prophetic word that is given, it is given from 3 dimensions: the present, the past, the future. What they thought when I gave the prophecies in 2020, they thought that I was false. And that is why the devil.
Hey, I'm gonna go back to that prophecy in this live stream. 20. You see how many times he says 2020? And I was in the live and he spoke to me and said, Bolo, listen, you need to go look for that video I did such and such in 2020. I said, all right, cool. I'm gonna get it done. He's been telling me for a few days now, but I wasn't gonna let today pass. So I'm gonna get it done, Pastor. Trust me. And if you watch it, stick around.
Devil,
trust me.
The devil has created a set of people in Jamaica who are on the bandwagon saying that I'm false. Hear what the Bible says. For none of these things which thou shalt suffer, behold, the devil shall cast off you into prison. Oh, let me back up a little. It says, I know thy works and thy tribulation and thy poverty. That is Revelation chapter 2, verses 9. And thou art rich, and I know thy blasphemy of them, which say they are Jews and are not, but they are the synagogue of Satan. So it is the synagogue of Satan who is using the people in Jamaica to declare that I'm false, because Satan does not want the truth to be told.
Yes.
Lucifer doesn't want the truth to be revealed to the nation. So even if you notice, even the people who call themselves Christians, not the child of God, not the sons and daughters of God, not the chosen ones, not the ones that God had upon their lives, but the ones who have become, they are functioning from the synagogue of Satan, of Lucifer.
Big facts.
My God, my God. Not only that, the Bible in 2020, there's a video that I gave that there's a thief in the cabinet. Anybody remember that prophecy?
Yes.
That there is a thief in the cabinet. And from 2020, they wanted to lock me up, but they had nothing to pin me. So what they did in 2021, they fabricated a video that I did.
Oh, they must have been saying, how the hell do you know a thief is in the cabinet? Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Damn, I messed up my thing right here. I'm gonna need another headphone, y'all, soon. But anyway.
All right, y'all. So I'm gonna come back to this. Don't you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. We're gonna come back to that. All right. But I gotta get into this right here, boy. It is it's warm. It's warm on the internet, isn't it? It's really warm. Man, I was watching the last part of Partner Jaw TV, boy. Hey man, that is some heavy stuff, boy. SSL heads is back. What the hell is going on? But I'm gonna leave that one alone. Tonight we're gonna go into the details of the Auditor General's report. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna go into the details of the Auditor General's report about this company that is headed by the Amber Group. Very interesting stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting stuff indeed. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go over that. Probably gonna be 2 parts in terms of the upload, because I gotta start from where I finished, and I believe that's page 9. Yeah. So we had, I think this is what, page 9. Yeah, page 9. So we're gonna go into the details of this right here. That's what we're gonna do. Osgold, what's up? Kali, what's up? Good night. Hey, salute to the people that's been on Bolo TVV, and you know what I'm saying, y'all stuck around. Big up to the people that stuck around to the platform, man. Big up to the people that look for the platform, that's looking out for the videos. Because I know that you guys have been having difficulty with getting the notifications for my videos. One remedy for that is to take my number and reach out to me and join my WhatsApp channel. on my WhatsApp channel, which I should do now, is drop the link to the live streams and let people know that I'm live. So on the WhatsApp channel, ladies and gentlemen, um, for the persons that are here, let me drop it in the chat. For the persons that are on Bolo VNR clips, let me drop the WhatsApp channel there for you, and you guys can go and click that link and join the WhatsApp channel. For the persons on TikTok, you can go to the link in my bio and come over to my YouTube page right now, because I'm live over there. Cali, I see you, Cali. Shout out to Cali. So there you go, guys, on Bolo VNR clips. That is the link for my WhatsApp channel. And on the WhatsApp channel, like every football team has a WhatsApp channel. Every government entity has a WhatsApp channel. All the updates for that particular entity, Nads, what's up, Nads? All of that, it happens there. So if you want to stay in tune and, like, okay, this video just dropped, that video just dropped. If you want to stay in tune, and you can always go to it, and wherever you ended last, like, oh, I never watched this. Click. You watch that. You understand what I'm saying? Keeps you up to date. Alright, so I dropped the link for Bolo VNR clips already. It's right there. Follow the Bolo VNR clips channel. Boom. Click that link and you can join the WhatsApp channel over there. For my brothers over by Bolo TBV, let me drop it for you as well. I actually shared a link on Bolo TBV with the same Bolo VNR clips channel. So I'm gonna just drop that in there for you guys, so you guys can have that. But major changes has to come, ladies and gentlemen. These dudes is doing too much. They doing too much, man. They doing too much. Alright, so let's get into it while I do that, ladies and gentlemen. Just to not waste time, please like, share, subscribe. Welcome to the platform. If it's your first time, let me know where you guys are watching from. Shout out to all of my real ones. Shout out to all of my supporters. I appreciate y'all. Let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do the do. This is the Auditor General's report on the Support Jamaica website. Page 9.
Background 1.1. In 2015, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, was designated as a body corporate under the Disaster Risk Management, DRM, Act of 2015 as the public body mandated to oversee National Disaster Management 1. The DRM Act repealed the Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management Act, 1993. Section 4 of the DRM Act states that the principal objects of the office shall be to advance disaster preparedness and emergency management measures in Jamaica by facilitating and coordinating the development and implementation of integrated disaster management systems and institute measures as may be necessary for mitigating disasters. The functions of the office include the following. Figure 1, ODPEM statutory functions. Developing and implementing policies and programs to achieve and maintain an appropriate state of national and sectoral preparedness for coping with all emergency situations which may affect Jamaica. Encouraging and supporting disaster preparedness and mitigation measures in all the parishes in collaboration with local government authorities, community-based organizations, and private and voluntary agencies. Providing appropriate training programs and consulting services related to all aspects of disaster preparedness, disaster mitigation, loss reduction, and disaster management. Planning and implementing programs to enhance public awareness and understanding of disaster-related issues, emergency management, hazard prevention, and similar matters. Identifying and analyzing hazards or emergency situations and conducting related operational research into their effects. establishing, maintaining, and managing mutual assistance and cooperation agreements. Source: Disaster Risk Management Act, 2015. 1 Section 3(1) of DRM Act, there is hereby established for the purposes of this act a body to be called the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, which shall be a body corporate to which the provisions of Section 28 of the Interpretation Act shall apply. Page 9 Real-Time Audit of the Hurricane Melissa Relief Initiative, February 2026. 1.2. On October 28, 2025, Hurricane Melissa made landfall in Jamaica as a Category 5 storm, causing catastrophic damage across the island, particularly in the western parishes. In response, the government of Jamaica, GJ, launched the Hurricane Melissa Relief and Recovery Initiative, a coordinated national effort designed to provide immediate relief, food, shelter, medical supplies, support housing recovery, and strengthen long-term community and climate resilience through partnerships with the private sector, non-governmental, and international organizations. AUDPEM directly coordinates the Hurricane Melissa relief efforts in Jamaica and plays a central role in both emergency response and recovery. Additionally, the government of Jamaica launched the disaster relief website supportjamaica.gov.jm, which handles donations and humanitarian aid logistics. Audit rationale, scope, and methodology. 1.3. Disaster relief efforts often face challenges such as the need for rapid decision-making, fluid operating conditions, coordination across multiple agencies, and heightened risks of resource misallocation, all of which constrain governance and control systems and increase public demand for transparency. A real-time audit helps address these issues by assessing whether emergency procurement and operational processes remained compliant and well-documented, evaluating the adequacy of governance and coordination mechanisms, reviewing controls over the receipt and distribution of relief resources, and providing independent assurance to strengthen accountability and improve future disaster response efforts.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand in these types of situations, it opens up an opportunity for persons that are finger fearing and have adhesive fingers to thief. Perfect opportunity for them to thief. So we have to say thank you to the Auditor General for, doing a real-time audit. Real talk.
Efforts. 1.4. The objective of the real-time audit is to assess whether the activities relating to the Hurricane Melissa Relief Initiative were conducted with due regard for transparency and accountability. Figure 2. Specifically, the series of audits seek to determine whether internal controls were adequate to prevent fraud, waste, and abuse of public resources during disaster response and recovery by assessing whether A. Appropriate IT controls exist over www.supportjamaica.gov.jm website. B. All donations, including funds and benefits in kind, have been accounted for in keeping with the relevant GOJ guidelines, and C. Procurement activities complied with the applicable laws, regulations, and guidelines. Page 10 Real-Time Audit of the Hurricane Melissa Relief Initiative, February 2026. Figure 2. Areas to be covered in Hurricane Melissa Relief Initiative Real-Time Audit. Information technology. Did appropriate IT controls exist over the supportjamaica.gov.jm website to ensure information security? Governance and oversight. Is there an effective institutional framework in place to manage disaster relief efforts? Financial management. Are all hurricane relief funds and in-kind donations accurately accounted for? Procurement. Is the awarding of contracts for goods and services compliant with the applicable GOJ procurement procedures? Inventory management. Does AUDPEM have an effective inventory management system in place to account for all relief items, whether procured or donated? Relief distribution. Are procured and donated items distributed to the intended beneficiaries? Source: OGD planning documents. 1.5. We also considered how the audit will contribute to the wider strategic aim of the Auditor General's Department to promote improvements in the use of public funds through better governance and resource management. Figure 3. This audit focused on one of the thematic approaches of the Auditor General's Department, which are aligned with national priorities and key development concerns. Figure 3, in scoping the audit, we considered how it would contribute to the achievement of the Auditor General's Department wider strategic aims by A. Assisting the government of Jamaica with useful recommendations that will aid in improvements in the delivery of public services. B. Targeting coverage of the Auditor General's Department, OGD, audit themes, governance, resource management, and accountability to aid in achieving the OGD's vision of promoting a better country through effective audit scrutiny of government operations. And C. Providing assurance to Parliament and the public on the efficiency, effectiveness, and economy of the operations of MDAs. Source: OGD's Audit Study Plan. 1.6. The audit was conducted in accordance with auditing standards issued by the International Organization of Supreme Audit Institutions, INTISI, including the Guidance on Auditing Disaster Management, GWID 5330. Specific focus is being placed on the recovery and relief activities end.
Wait a minute, that's impressive. The audit was conducted in accordance with the auditing standards issued by the International Organization of Supreme Audit Institution, INTISI. I didn't even know that there was an organization named that, including the guidance of the Auditing Disaster Management Guide 5330, specific focus being placed on the recovery and relief activities, national and international response to emergency phase of the disaster management cycle. Those standards require that we comply with the ethical requirements, plan and perform the audit to obtain reasonable assurance that reliance may be placed on ODPEM internal controls. The series of audits will also include a review of the key information technology systems used in Hurricane Melissa Relief Initiative, related documents, interviews with management and staff, key stakeholders, observations and analysis of data, information provided by ODPEM. Let's continue.
Key areas covered in this report. 1.7. This report assesses the access and data protection controls implemented in relation to the www.supportjamaica.gov.jm website up to January 20th, 2026, Figure 4. Subsequent reports will address other areas of information technology, IT, financial management, procurement, and relief distribution controls in greater detail. Figure 4. Focus of this report. Information technology. Did appropriate IT controls exist over the supportjamaica.gov.jm website to ensure information security? Page 12 Real-Time Audit of the Hurricane Melissa Relief Initiative, February 2026. Part 2, supportjamaica.gov.jm. Background. 2.1. 2.2. The supportjamaica.gov.jm website, which forms part of the government's Hurricane Melissa relief and recovery efforts, was created to mobilize donations, track emergencies, and coordinate recovery efforts in the aftermath of the hurricane. Developed and donated by a private entity, the platform is designed to accept online donations and facilitate relief efforts through volunteer enrollment, incident reporting, and the communication of a national needs list as depicted in Figure 5 below. Additionally, the website facilitates the uploading of documentation required by the Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA, for relief clearance. This feature streamlines the importation process for disaster relief items by enabling donors and agencies to submit essential documents such as packing lists, airway bills, bills of lading, invoices, and cargo manifests directly through the platform. Figure 5, supportjamaica.gov.jm landing page. Source, supportjamaica.gov.jm.
Take a look at this figure right here. Hurricane Melissa, relief. This is the landing page. Okay. Boy, this is getting very interesting, boy. Let's continue.
In October 2025, the private developer donated the supportjamaica.gov.jm website to the government of Jamaica for use as part of a software as a service, SaaS, setup. The government was gifted the functionality of the website, while technical aspects of the design, coding, and intellectual property rights to the source codes and security requirements were retained by the developer. While the supportjamaica.gov.jm website was launched on October 28, 2025, ODPEM's relationship with the private developer was not formalized until approximately 2 months later in.
This part of it is also super important, right? So it's like what the gentleman said, Mr. Gill, in the PAC meeting. I am asking the question, who made the decision to do it this way? Why did they think it was prudent to do it in such a way? The government was gifted functionality of the website, while the technical aspect of design, coding, and intellectual property rights to the source code and security requirements were retained by the developer. Why didn't they pay for it all out? As a matter of fact, there is some information that states that there's an argument out there and some information out there that states that, you know, the people in Jamaica never got to test it. In the government never got to test the website. I don't know how true that is, but that also compounds, you know, the concern around this thing. It says here that while the Support Jamaica government website was launched October 28, 2025, ADPEM's relationship with the private developer was not formalized until approximately 2 months later. So what I understand from that is that ADPEM didn't even have a relationship with the developer. They didn't know the developer. 2 months later, and you guys were advertising and telling people you were campaigning for them to donate in an emergency when you didn't have no formal relationship with the developer. What the hell is going on, bro?
What can go so?
Man, this is unbelievable, right? 2 months later, December 2025, when the deed of the agreement was signed by both parties. Is this how things usually work? So I guess the question that I need to ask is, when did donations start to go into the Support Jamaica Foundation, Support Jamaica website? When did donation actually start to pour in? That's important. Let me Google that real quick while I continue to read this, cause yo, nah, bro, this is not it. I'm sorry, this is not it, bro. This is not it. Let me find out.
This deed formally documents the mutual understanding, intentions, and obligations of the government of Jamaica, represented by ODPEM, and the private developer concerning the development, donation, implementation, management, and ongoing operation of the website. 2.3 Figure 6 below outlines the key events, decisions, and contractual arrangements associated with the development, deployment, and governance of Jamaica's national disaster donation platforms following major hurricane events. It traces the evolution from the initial response to Hurricane Beryl in July 2024 through to the response to Hurricane Melissa in October 2025. Figure 6. Support Jamaica Timeline. Source: OPM and ODPEM correspondences. Information security, IS, governance gaps. 2.4 Effective access control is a critical component of an organization's information security, IS, framework, ensuring that information and information processing facilities are protected against unauthorized use or disclosure. Best practice dictates that access must be governed by a documented policy that aligns with the organization's business objectives and security requirements. Access rights should be assigned based on clearly defined roles and responsibilities, as well as consider the principles of least privileges, need to know, and need to use.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's just as I feared. I just looked it up, right? When was the first donation sent to the Support Jamaica website? According to this, on Google here, earliest donation surpassed US 1 million shortly after launch. Shortly after being launched, US $1 million was sent to Jamaica website. I want you guys to let that sink in. With all the issues, all the arguments around security about the website, because of an emergency, persons they went at pace to contribute. No, just let's go. But the system itself was not 100% ironclad where security is concerned. Yes, 1 million USD shortly after being launched, reaching US 1.13 million and Jamaica 58.85 million by November 13th, 2025. Remember, hurricane was October 28th, 2025. 15 days after this particular website was pulling in 1.13 million US dollars. With all of the issues that the Auditor General mentioned, yo, sure, 1.13 million US dollars. So all those donators, are you guys okay? You guys good? Y'all feel with this particular, information coming out, do you feel safe? Do you feel confident about your information not being out there? Let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Just asking questions here. Just asking questions here. Wow. Wow. This is incredible. This is incredible.
ODPEM currently has in draft an Information Systems Division policies and procedures, as well as an Information Systems user
Pick up yourself,
policy.
Karen.
However, these documents were not formally approved or implemented in keeping with International Best Practice 3. ODPEM also did not have an established control framework for governing user access and the wider information systems management within the organization. Therefore, roles and responsibilities as well as the adopted access control model and principles were not defined to manage the assignment, administration, and monitoring of access rights within ODPEM. In the absence of approved and operational policies and procedures, the organization lacked a formal and enforceable set of controls to guide user access provisioning, account management, and system security practices.
All right, so ODPEM currently has in draft an Information System Division policy and procedures, as well as the Information System User Policy. However, these documents were not formally approved or implemented in keeping with international best practices. So, international best practices where those two things are concerned was not being practiced, ladies and gentlemen. ODPEM also did not have an established control framework at that time when this thing was set out there. ODPEM also did not have an established control framework for governing user access and wider information system management within the organization. Therefore, the roles and responsibilities as well as the adopted access control model and principles were not defined to manage the assessment administration and monitoring of access rights within ODPEM. In the absence of approved and operational policy and procedures, the organization lacked a formal, enforceable set of control to guide users, provisioning, account management, and system security practices. Jesus of mercy. Hey, given the foregoing, we assess the organization practice and procedures against general accepted IT governance and access management best practices. These best practices serve as benchmarks for evaluating the adequacy and effectiveness of control in environments where formalized documentation and policy are not in place. Figure 7 below presents the key elements of access control framework, which served as a benchmark for evaluating the adequacy and effectiveness of ODPEM. Monitoring and review privilege access or session monitoring, periodic access review, incident response and remediation, authorized and authentication, authorized roles, permission access control list, role biased access control at a RBAC, authentic password, multi-factor authentication. Is that what that is? Authentication, sorry. Single sign-on certificates, privilege, access management, PAM, administration accounts, segregation of duties, SOD, least privilege, wow, governance and policy, access control policy, IT governance alignment, definition of roles and responsibilities, identification and access management, IAM, identification and authentication, user provision and deprovisioning, modification of user roles, handling non-employee identities, example, contractors or vendors. Wow. Hey man, listen. Whew, boy. Inadequate user access management is the next phase of this article.
ODPEM currently has in draft an Information Systems Division Policies and Procedures, as well as an Information Systems User Policy. However, these documents were not formally approved or implemented in keeping with International Best Practice 3. ODPEM also did not have an established control framework for governing user access and the wider information systems management within the organization. Therefore, roles and responsibilities as well as the adopted access control model and principles were not defined to manage the assignment, administration, and monitoring of access rights within ODPEM. In the absence of approved and operational policies and procedures, the organization lacked a formal and enforceable set of controls to guide user access provisioning, account management, and system security practices. 2.6 Given the foregoing, we assess the organization's practices and procedures against generally accepted IT governance and access management best practices. These best practices serve as the benchmark for evaluating the
Will they already pass this up? No, no, we're gone back. We're gone back all the way up this one.
inadequate user access management. 2.7 Information Security Best Practices recommend that all access requests should undergo formal authorization, with duties appropriately segregated to reduce risk. Access permissions must be regularly reviewed and promptly revoked when no longer required, while privileged roles should be carefully identified, restricted, and subject to continuous monitoring to maintain the integrity and security of critical information assets.
So we can say that based off the lack, the best practices not being there, not having continuous monitoring to maintain integrity and security of critical information assets, that the integrity was not maintained and the security was definitely not there. That's a problem. That is a problem. That is a very, very serious problem. You understand?
Assets.
Yo, that's a very serious
3
problem. Bro.
ISO page 15. User access granted without formal requests and or approvals. 2.8. 2.9. Our review of the Support Jamaica Administrative Dashboard identified
problem.
deficiencies in user access authorization relating to 8 individuals, external to ODPEM, Appendix 1. ODPEM advised that the individuals were employed to government ministries, department and agencies, MDAs, and were required to perform functions including volunteer coordination, pledge management, as well as reporting and situational awareness. However, ODPEM was unable to provide evidence of documented requests and formal approvals for the provisioning, modification, and revocation of these user accounts, which does not align with best practice recommendations for. Additionally, we were not able to determine, based on available documentation, the specific job roles and responsibilities of the officers within their MDA that supported the level of system access granted. Consequently, we could not confirm the basis for the access granted or validate the authorization. Process to determine whether the access granted aligned with the specific job functions and responsibilities of the individuals concerned.
This is what you call a gray area. And in accountability, gray areas are dangerous. Because they don't know the roles and responsibility of the individual, so they don't know if they had breached anything. It's the same thing as $3 trillion is unaccounted for. Oh, but that doesn't mean that we stole the money, but it doesn't mean that it didn't. We don't have any receipts. That is a problem. That is a major problem. Let's continue. That's a major problem, ladies
Concerned.
and gentlemen. Major
Additionally,
problem.
one of the 8 individuals, User 1, from the Ministry of Education, Youth, Skills and Information, MOISI, was assigned as an admin user on October 31st, 2025, and later updated to a super admin role on November 1st, 2025. ODPEM stated on November 24th, 2025, that the user was the OPM liaison officer with responsibility for the user administration of the supportjamaica.gov.jm website. Subsequent queries were raised with OPM, which informed on December 16th, 2025, that the user was a contract officer under the Jamaica House Fellows Program and was assigned to the office of Name and Position Redacted. OPM further indicated that User 1 transitioned to MOISI when Name Redacted was reassigned to that ministry. 2.10, however, our records indicated that the Name Redacted was assigned to MOISI in October 2024, but the user's activities on the Support Jamaica Administrative Dashboard occurred up to 2025 November 14th. Upon further inquiry, OPM informed via letter dated January 6th, 2026, that based on ministerial directive, the information portfolio was requested to provide urgent support for the supportjamaica.gov.jm relief website. User 1 was therefore asked to provide time-bound administrative support during the emergency response phase. Her involvement was limited to copy editing and vetting of the public-facing content, conducting functional checks, and extracting data required for situation reporting. 2.11, our review of the dashboard revealed that User 1's super admin privileges encompassed full end-to-end administrative, operational, reporting, and security functions consistent with privileged user access, detailed in Figure 8 below. Between 2025 November 1st and November 14th, 2025, the contract officer provisioned 10 user accounts to both ODPEM staff and external users from other MDAs. This access, without a clearly documented access policy, may expose sensitive data and systems to potential threats, including unauthorized access and data loss. To date, neither OPM nor ODPEM provided documentary evidence to support the assignment of the access privileges granted to User 1 and the associated timelines for the execution of the functions on the supportjamaica.gov.jm website. Figure 8. Support Jamaica Administrative Dashboard, Super Admin Privileges. Source: Support Jamaica Administrative Dashboard.
Jamaica Somebody say in the comment section, Venus say, why aren't the why aren't the Jamaican people outraged? Get the likes up for me as much as I can, ladies and gentlemen. Double tap the screen. If you're on YouTube or on TikTok. TikTok, I don't know the aim, you know. See there, there's some 50k likes. Wow. user account management, incident or oversight, resource or content management, and we have operational workflow management, and at the center of that you have super admin privileges in terms of the support Jamaica administrative dashboard. Let's continue.
2.12 The existence of multiple external user accounts without clear justification, coupled with the absence of a defined system or framework for provisioning and managing external users, highlights inefficiencies in ODPEM's management of user accounts. Collectively, these control deficiencies increase the risk of unauthorized access to sensitive donor, financial, and administrative data, potential misuse of system privileges, and noncompliance with applicable data protection laws. Ultimately, these weaknesses expose ODPEM to heightened operational and reputational risks.
You wanna hear that? Heightened operational and reputational risk. It could damage their reputation forever. Those risks that were taken because of the loopholes and the potential of criminality that could have taken place, the breaches. Mighty God. No, sir.
Risks. Insufficient controls over the deprovisioning of external user accounts. 2.13 Our
Crazy,
review of
bro.
the audit log showed that User 1's account was deactivated on December 23, 2025, while the account for User 4 was deactivated on December 29, 2025. The deprovisioning dates for the remaining 6 external accounts could not be confirmed through audit log evidence. However, all accounts reflected an inactive status on the date of review. On December 31st, 2025, ODPEM indicated that actions were taken to deprovision the external user accounts and develop a supportjamaica.gov.jm administrative dashboard access request form. A timeline was not provided for the implementation of the access form. 2.14 Further, the rationale for the deprovisioning of these accounts was unclear, particularly considering the purposes previously communicated for the creation of the accounts.
Right in an upside
Standard
Prime
practice dictates that user accounts should be deprovisioned following a change in an individual's role, completion of assigned responsibilities, or separation from the organization. Yet the specific basis for deprovisioning in this instance was not substantiated. This lack of justification represents a control weakness that undermines accountability, traceability, and increases the risk of inappropriate or unauthorized access due to inconsistent or poorly governed deprovisioning practices.
Wow. That's part one, ladies and gentlemen. I can't go through all of it. I mean, I want this to be the first reaction to be too long. So we're gonna start where we left off in the next one. So make sure this is part one. Make sure you watch part two, ladies and gentlemen. Alright? Good. I really part three still can do on part one already. So I really part three, this one I will do this at the conclusion. Alright, so let's go here, ladies and gentlemen. It says here that insufficient control over the provision of external user accounts. What is the provision? Deprovisioning. That word, deprovisioning. What does that mean? Let me look that up. And welcome to the platform. This is part 3 really of part 3 of 3 of the Auditor General's report on the Support Jamaica website. We dealt with part 1 and part 2 already, so this is part 3. Deprovisioning. Let me look up that word. Deprovisioning. Deprovisioning means is the systematic removal of user access rights, software license, and IT resources when they are no longer needed. It is the exact opposite of provisioning, and typically happens during employee offboarding or role changes. It says that the employee departure, staff leave the company, role changes, international transfer, shift jobs duties, project completions, contractor finish short-term tasks, assess right, retirement software and cloud servers are shut down, disabling accounts, turning off login access, revoking permission, remove. Also, basically that is levels of control. So them say over the over review of the audit, long log show, the user one accounts was deactivated on 25th of December 2023, while the account for user 4 was deactivated December 29. The deprovisioning dates for the remaining 6 external accounts could not be confirmed through audit log evidence. However, all accounts reflected an inactivity status on the date of review on 25th of December, December 30, no, the 31st of December 2025. ALPM indicated that actions were taken to deprovision the external user accounts and develop a support Jamaica government.jm administrative dashboard access requested form. A timeline was not provided for the implementation of the access form. So they have been running this thing like a bugger entity, ladies and gentlemen. Not professional at all, leaving gaps for potential criminality, whether on purpose or just by them being incompetent. Further, the rationale for the deprovisioning of these accounts was unclear, particularly considering the purposes previously communicated for the creation of the accounts. So now they removed these people from access, but the reason they removed them was unclear. Oh my God, Lord have mercy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem. Something alright.
Something not right, my wisdom warriors. Something is not right.
Something is not right.
Tell about them.
Something is not right. Why did they remove the individuals without a proper reason for removing them? Did they do something wrong? Why remove them? The rationale for deprovisioning of these accounts were unclear, particularly considering the purposes previously communicated for the creation of the accounts. So they made it appear as if the creation of the accounts, ladies and gentlemen, was vital somehow. It was critical. So when they got a reason for the deprovisioning, the removal of the accounts, it was not, there was no, it didn't make sense. It was unclear. What is going on, bro? What?
Emotional damage.
Tell them something, man.
All of them. It don't matter
Tell
if
them
you
something.
Diddy or whoever you
Tell them
is.
something.
TG Jakes, all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong
The
way.
truth is the light.
The truth is the light.
The truth is the light, ladies and gentlemen. The standard practice dictates that user accounts should be deprovisioned following a change in an individual's role, completion of assigned responsibility, or separation from the organization. So there's 3 ways how you are deprovisioned. Is either you them change your role, is either you complete your assigned responsibility, or you have what's up debts, you have been, you leave the organization. That makes a lot of sense. Big up yourself, Sparky. That makes a lot of sense. Right? But it goes on to say that yet the specific basis for deprovisioning in this instance was not sustained was not substantiated. So they basically left them in the dust. They left them to ponder why these individuals were deprovisioned. There was no clear reason why. Out of the 3 reasons, there was no clear reason why, ladies and gentlemen, they were removed. What a tangled web we weave.
Something all right, my wisdom warriors. Something is not right.
Mighty
Tell about
God.
them.
No man. What a tangled web we weave.
Hey, boy, ain't no fucking way, boy.
Something
Boy, ain't no
right.
way, boy. Boy, ain't no
Something
way,
right,
boy.
Jamaica.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Something right.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Something right.
Boy, ain't no way.
Something right. Something right. Something right. Something is not right, ladies. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Something is not right, ladies and gentlemen. I can't put my finger on it, but something. That's why I'm saying I have to go over the Auditor General report, you know. This lack of justification represents a control weakness that undermines accountability, traceability, and increases the risk of inappropriate or unauthorized access due to inconsistent or poorly governed deprovision practices. Sorry, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me drink some water. As sit there with I say, I need some water. Big up Ishmael. I need some water. Throat I get dry. What is this? What is this? No, sir. Wow.
Practices.
Wow.
Page 17. Super admin role assigned contrary to the principle of least privilege. 2.15 Additionally, we noted that the super admin role was also assigned by user 1 to the current director general to facilitate ongoing user account administration. Despite user administration activities not ordinarily falling within the scope of responsibilities for a head of entity. Notably, ODPEM's Information Systems Manager did not have a user account or was assigned responsibilities in relation to the Support Jamaica administrative dashboard. The audit sought to obtain the basis for the assignment of the super admin role to the head of the entity, but a clear response was not provided. As a result, the appropriateness of the assignment could not be assessed. This deficiency also raises concerns regarding the application of user management best practices, particularly the principle of least privilege and the enforcement of segregation of duties within the organization.
So I'll be a mix up of going here, with the administrative duties, them, ladies and gentlemen. Mighty God of Daniel. Super admin role assigned contrary to principle of least privilege. User 1. Super admin role was also assigned by user 1 to the current director general to facilitate ongoing user account administration. So user 1, super admin role was assigned by user 1 to the director general, despite user administration activities not ordinarily falling within the scope of responsibility for head of entity. So user administration activities would normally be given to the head of entity. That is interesting. Notably, AdPem Information System Manager did not have a user account or was assigned responsibilities in relation to support Jamaica administrative dashboard. Let me read that again. AdPem's Information System Manager. AdPem's Information System Manager. AdPem's Information systems manager did not have a user account or was assigned responsibility in relation to support Jamaica administrative dashboard. No, man. No. No. Yo. If this are not some weird activity, I don't know what is. The information systems manager was not assigned a user account or was assigned responsibility in relation to the support Jamaica administrative dashboard. The audit sought to obtain the basis for the assignment of the super admin role to the head of entity. But a clear response was not provided. As a result, the appropriateness of the assignment could not be assessed. The deficiency also raises concerns regarding the application of user management best practices, particularly principle of least privilege and the enforcement of segregation of duties within the organization. So, segregation of duties is important, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to give anybody, one person, too much power. Because if you do, that person can wield that power to their own advantage. A segregation of duties helps to keep the system more accountable, more transparent. You understand what I say? So that's what the Auditor General is concerned about. The way how they structured this. She's saying that the head of entity does not get those responsibilities. There's a reason for it. Very interesting. Let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting indeed.
Organization. 2.16 The absence of a documented justification combined with the lack of a formal approval process within the organization's user access management. ODPEM did not demonstrate
this will work, you know.
separation between the roles for requesting, approving, and implementing access, nor did it establish controls to prevent conflicts. Also, there was insufficient evidence of additional safeguards for privileged access and inadequate.
Let's go over that again. The absence of a documented the absence of a documented justification combined with a lack of formal approval process represents significant control weaknesses within the organization user access management. ODPEM did not demonstrate effective separation between the roles for requesting, approving, and implementing access, nor did it establish controls to prevent conflicts. Also, conflicts of interest, obviously. Also, there was insufficient evidence of additional safeguards for privileged access and inadequate maintenance of records for the access changes. These deficiencies contrary to international best practices. As a result, there was an increased risk that access rights may be provisioned to individuals without adequate oversight or proper alignment with their actual job responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen,
What can go so?
mighty God, we in a trouble, you know? We in a trouble. But I remember Andrew Ole saying that he put the office, ODPEM, in his office because he saw gaps. I distinctly remember him saying that, ladies and gentlemen. As a matter of fact, Holness says ODPEM shift to his office is temporary. It's gonna be temporary, right? And it would allow the office to operate in such a way that those gaps would be, they would be gone pretty much. This is live, Stella. This is live. Once you see me like this, it's live. Yeah, man, it's live. I'm live right now. But what we're hearing from the Auditor General, I mean, the entity was operating in such a way where there was too much. What's up, Jody? There were too much room for skullduggery. We don't know if skullduggery go on, you know. That's not my argument, you know. My argument is the room for skullduggery, is the not knowing. And that is a problem with the Jamaica Labour Party. It's the not knowing. Them have a not knowing problem. Them have an accountability problem. Right? The man boasts about, oh, you know, as a matter of fact, let me play one little thing phone before I go back to that. Because this has to be a part of this. I go find it. Let's continue. I go find it. I want me read up to this point. Adpem has indicated right there, so.
ODPEM has since indicated that management will formally approve and implement a comprehensive access control policy that requires documented justification for all user accounts, including those assigned to external entities and government ministries, departments, and agencies. The policy will satisfy the access right and information security requirements of ISO/IC 27002:2022. The policy will require the timely deprivation of user access when access is no longer required. Directions were also issued by the Director General for a log of access requests, approvals, modifications, and removals to be maintained, along with the periodic reviews of user accounts and monitoring of privileged accounts. Noncompliance with the Data Protection Act. 2.18 data protection is a fundamental aspect of information security, ensuring that personal and sensitive data are handled securely and in compliance with legal and regulatory requirements. In Jamaica, Section 30 of the Data Protection Act 2025 requires the implementation of appropriate security measures to safeguard such data, while Section 15(1) mandates that data controllers be registered with the Office of the Information Commissioner. Additionally, Section 20 requires the appointment of a data protection officer where necessary. 2.19 The supportjamaica.gov.jm website collects personal and health-related data from donors and potential volunteers. In order to ensure the appropriate handling and processing of this information, a Data Processing Agreement, DPA, with an effective date of October 28, 2025, was 5. The Data Protection Act, page 8, figure 9. Donor participation and donations amount. Support Jamaica website, 12,000. December 20. Total donation. Source, web.
Alright, so let me just read that because it kind of skip. Sorry about that. Wow. They collect personal and health related data. The Support Jamaica government website collects personal and health related data from donors and potential volunteers in order to ensure the appropriate handling and processing of this information. A data process agreement DPA with an effective date of October 28, 2025 was signed between ADPEM and private developer in December 2025. The agreement defines the roles and responsibility for ADPEM as the data controller and the private developer as the data processor. As at 2026 January 11th, donations totaling US 1.399 million and Jamaican 71 million were made by 16,900 individuals. Further, 4,600 individuals registered as volunteers between November 1st, 2025 and January 19, 2026 on the platform. So 16,900 persons was already, oh my God. Wow. Yo. Yo, this is wild. What's going on, Larry Sharper? Yo, this is wild, bro. But I'm telling no lie, man. Yo, this is how when you blow my brain cells, brother. The implications are insane. According to the agreement, the processor implemented security measures in compliance with JDPA, GPD Article 32, and SOC 2 Trust Service Criteria Figure 11. However, there was no evidence to demonstrate that ADPEM verified the private developer's compliance with these requirements. ADPEM was also unable to confirm that the relevant technical and organizational security measures stated in the agreement were in place to secure personal and health data collected. G's and P's. Let me read that again. And this was at the time of the investigation. ADPEM was also unable to confirm that the relevant technical and organizational security measures stated in the agreement were in place to secure personal and health data collected subsequent to the launch of the website. So they couldn't tell you that. So when the website was launched, they couldn't tell you that the relevant technical organizational security measures were in place. That's what I'm understanding. If I can be corrected, I will take the correction. But what I'm reading, that is what it's saying. ADPEM just they didn't verify. They didn't verify this. What does that mean for the personal and health data of the individuals that donated? What's up, Janet? My God. Wow. Additionally, documentation sustained from the private developer through ADPEM indicated that the developer was not SOC 2 Type 2 compliant at the time of the agreement or the website launch. Instead, a compliance engagement letter dated October 16, 2025 indicated that an entity was engaged to perform advisory and support activities to prepare, name redacted, systems, processes, and documentation for SOC 2 Type 2 compliance. Lord Jesus. ADPEM has since advised that it is in possession of the documentation related to the implementation of the security measures. We further noted that the privacy notice of the supportjamaica.gov.jm website states, access is strictly limited to authorized personnel from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management and the Office of the Prime Minister. Misleading privacy notice. Wait a minute. We further noted that the privacy notice on the website, it says that access is strictly authorized to the Disaster Preparedness and Emergency ADPEM and the Prime Minister. However, given that the platform operates as a SaaS solution, whereby the private developer acts as a data processor, access of the personal data would be required for operational and support purposes. The privacy notice claim was therefore potentially misleading. Mighty God, as it did not accurately reflect the data process legitimate access to personal information.
We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody, man or woman.
Jamaica no mean say so, you know. Make me read it again. However, as a matter of fact, make you hear it for the people when they're on TikTok. Make you hear it and read for yourself. You listen to this. And the reason why I read it too, because you see, you go page to page, it read the page number and them something, it kind of throw you off. So it's better if I read it. Because I record it right now, everybody I see it on Bolo TVV. However, given that the platform operates as a SaaS solution, whereby the private developer acts as a data processor, access to personal data would be required for operational and support purposes. The privacy notice on the website, ladies and gentlemen, claim was therefore potentially misleading as it did not accurately reflect the data processor's legitimate access to personal information. So the person who developed the website see everybody data too, not just the Prime Minister and not just ADPEM, but then put on the website, ladies and gentlemen, access is strictly limited to authorized personnel from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management and the Office of the Prime Minister. Unless the developer of the Support Jamaica website working at the Office of the Prime Minister or the developer work in an ADPEM, this is misleading. This is a bold-faced false advertisement, fraud, lie. You understand what I say? And you talk about privacy issue with people, health data, them personal information. Hey, mama. Let me tell you something, man. A story I come to bump right now. Remember me tell you that. The privacy notice also refer to Data Protection Officer, DPO, within ADPEM. But at the time of the review, the entity did not appoint a Data Protection Officer. G's and P's. No. Or if you have a privacy notice that says the Data Protection Officer within the ADPEM, right, was referred to somebody that would have access, but you didn't have a Data Protection Officer. So one dopey did have access to the data too. I want vacuum, not there, nobody not hold the post. What kind of banger I'm gonna sit there? What is, man? On review, the entity did not appoint a Data Protection Officer as described under Section 20 of the DPA. So the Data Protection, jeez, hey, them money go hard here, man. Further, ADPEM was not registered as a data controller with the Office of the Information Commissioner up to the date of this report. Jesus. Father God, take a case. The man them work back way. Ladies and gentlemen, how do you run a country but you don't know how the country run? Legally, like by law. Don't they have legal advisors as to how to set up a company to make sure that you're legally compliant to the law? How do you start this and not do what the... why didn't they go to the Auditor General and say, Auditor General, could you help us in making sure that we begin this thing in a way that we will be compliant with all the laws necessary for a clean audit? Because remember, you know, then when I say, oh, nobody can say we thief for no money and everything, I go, all right and all of that, as a matter of fact, make me play the tape. Make me play the tape. Wanna listen to this, ladies and gentlemen.
Prime Minister, the ADPEM is Jamaica's primary national body responsible for disaster risk management. Its role is to ensure that the country is prepared to prevent where possible, mitigate where necessary, respond effectively when disasters occur, and recover in a way that builds resilience. Essentially, ADPEM serves as the coordinating body that connects policy, planning, coordination, information, logistics, and operational support to disaster events, bringing together ministries, departments, agencies, local government authorities, security agencies, private sector entities, and the community structures. In the case of Hurricane Melissa, the ODPEM was able to maintain the national coordination framework under intense pressure. The organization supported preparedness and response coordination, emergency information management, interagency tasking, relief efforts, damage assessments, shelter coordination, shifting to early recovery. It also helped to sustain a shared operational picture and supported the government shift from the immediate relief efforts into a more structured early recovery process. Beyond the emergency phase, Prime Minister Adpem has also contributed to shaping the recovery efforts, and by supporting the situational awareness, facilitating coordination among local and national actors and international actors, while also helping to guide the transition, as mentioned before, from relief to sustainable recovery. Its works following Melissa has reinforced the importance of a whole-of-government approach to disaster risk management and recovery efforts. Looking ahead, Prime Minister, the ODPEM must provide or evolve from being seen as a response agency to being fully positioned as a national resilience institution. This involves strengthening preparedness systems, deepening technological integration amongst key stakeholders, improving parish and community level coordination and capacity, modernizing information and monitoring processes, enhancing logistics and operational coordination systems, and supporting stronger recovery governance matters. It will also entail building a more technologically capable, agile, and forward-thinking organization that can better manage the complexities of disaster risk management in the changing climatic environments. Key to this point, Prime Minister, that ODPEM is not only an emergency response organization, it must strategically position itself as an institution whose effectiveness directly impacts public safety, continuance of government, infrastructure resilience, and national development.
So everything on the hear a while ago, this is an Andrew Holness YouTube page now. This is the reason why ADPEM was moved to the office of the Prime Minister. Let's listen now more about the donation, the support Jamaica. Listen to this.
I'm very pleased to report that I have seen improvements in the functioning of ADPEM, and they were tasked to do a few things. One of them would be to strengthen their inventory management system, to put a system in place that delivers real-time information. They are well down the wicket with that through support from our Information Technology Authority. And the objective of that, the end objective of that, is to answer calls and support the whole idea of transparency. So eventually, and when I say eventually, very soon, as soon as the system is up and running, then we will be able to publish for the public to see what came in as donations and what went out as in terms of their usage and who were the beneficiaries. So the public will be able to see in real time what is the status of donations. That gives confidence to the public. It gives confidence to our donors as well. In these matters, there should be nothing secret.
Only hear him. Only hear him. Let me continue, ladies and gentlemen. Mighty God. The privacy notice also refers to a data protection officer within the ADPEM. But at this time, of the review entity did not appoint a data protection officer as prescribed under Section 20 of the DPA. Furthermore, ADPEM was not registered as a data controller with the Office of the Information Commissioner. Jamaica, how can Andrew Honest just say all the things he just said? But they were not registered in the Office of the Information Commissioner up to the date of this report. Consequently, ADPEM is in breach of Section 15 of the Data Protection Act, which prohibits the processing of personal data without an organization being duly registered. Mighty God of Daniel. This man is this is untenable. ADPEM has since indicated that the process are being put in place to develop and implement its data protection framework. The organization is assessing the assignment of a suitable qualified officer to serve as data protection officer, noting that The post is not yet part of its current established consultancy service to support its data protection implementation program, which will include registering as a data controller with the Office of Information Commissioner, documenting and classifying all personal data processing activities, implementing the 8 data protection standards, establishing the right handling of lawful basis framework, developing breach response procedure, embedding privacy by design principle, and providing staff training. Additionally, ADPEM has noted that the necessary steps are being taken to update the Support Jamaica website privacy notice to disclose the developer's role and access as a data processor. Jamaica, let me tell you something. Selvanet, big up yourself, my general. What can go so? Let me tell you something. The last part there, it is being updated to show the role of the developer. The man then false advertise on the website and say access is strictly limited to authorized personnel. These people cannot be trusted. And if you want to send no money to support Jamaica website again, you galang. That a fool business. I will be telling all of my family members, don't send a dime through that. If they ever have any intention, if a next hurricane come, God forbid, and one disaster come, support Jamaica should not be. None of my family members, me only can deal with my family. Me not tell nobody else what to do, but my family member them, me have to protect my family member them based off how me I read and understand. This look like a SCAM. They cannot be trusted, ladies and gentlemen. No, sir. The bridge of trust has been destroyed based off what I'm reading here, sir. There's no way me I work with this website. As a matter of fact, anything to do with Andrew Wallace and I don't have nothing to do with it. I don't business if they want to create a new one. As long as Andrew Wallace is a part of it, I don't want to have nothing to do with it. These people cannot be trusted, ladies and gentlemen. Support Jamaica Administration dashboard. Minister of Education and Youth Skills and Information, user 1. User 2. Minister of Education. Hold on. Minister of Education. Super admin role. Minister of Labor and Social Security. Voluntary Management. Jamaica Promotion Corporation. Pledge Manager. Office of the Prime Minister is user 5. Minister of Culture and Gender and Entertainment. No Babsy Grange that. No, Dora the Explorer that. Minister of Labor and Social Security. No my man that. What name? Pernell Charles Jr. Office of the Prime Minister, obviously, Andrew Wallace. Jamaica Promotion Corporation. Who that? Let me go Google that. Let me Google that. Hold on there. I go think some company last page. Jamaica Corporation. How going on this? How really are going on so? Hold on, what really are going on my side? Jamaica Promotion Corporation. Alright, Jamaica Promotion. How want that? Promotion Corporation. Let me see who that. Jam Pro. Jamaica Corporate. Let me see for Jam Pro. I don't know. I don't know if it's Jam Pro, but look like them come up. Jamaica Promotion Corporation. Do business, blah blah blah. Do business Jamaica. A great place to do business. Choose Jamaica. Anytime I see that, you know, say JLP involved in it. Choose Jamaica. Stay connected. Information service. Jamaica, I'm telling you something. This not look safe. You make me know what you think in the comment section, cause you're supposed to have 1,000 different things based off how we just read and go through a while ago. May I tell you, it not normal. You know, like, share, and subscribe. Right? We have, I can't believe I did that in an hour and a half. We still have 30 minutes miscellaneous left for tonight's live stream, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? Make me go probe and look, because you know, there's a few. Somebody says scam on top of scam. Nothing is safe with Andrew Jones and his and the criminals around him. And I mean, says immigration says in our comment section. Mighty God. Why Jamaica, that's a lot to digest, you know? No lie, me. Me no lie, me. Hey, me say, if Andrew Jones thinks he can trick somebody like me so happy. Say God I protect me. Because from people like him. Zane, let me see, Andre, when I go on that crocus bag of things in an argument, you know. This is what I'm going to say. Let me hear what Andre Stevens I say. Let me hear him I say. It's not safe, Richard. Mighty God, brother. I don't know how much you know safe for that, me I try to tell you. Yeah. You don't know how much you're in a danger with them and people there.
Jamaica. Why Miss Winnie calling me? Yes, Miss Winnie. Me know the students them go from the director. Management and non-compliance with data protection requirements. What did you all expect, Jamaica? What did you all expect? I want to turn your eyes to something. Many of you, when the government announced this Support Jamaica campaign, they all convinced you that this was the website. It was the website that said www.gog, Government of Jamaica, you know. And they all convinced you. You remember this, what the Prime Minister said? Producer, you can play what the Prime Minister said for me, please.
I'm pleased to report that I have seen improvements in the functioning of ADPEM, and they were tasked to do a few things. One of them would be to strengthen their inventory management system, to put a system in place that delivers real-time information. They are well down the wicket with that through support from our Information Technology Authority. And the objective of that, the end objective of that, is to answer calls and support the whole idea of transparency. So eventually, and when I say eventually, very soon, as soon as the system is up and running, then we will be able to publish for the public to see what came in as donations and what went out as in terms of their usage and who were the beneficiaries. So the public will be able to see in real time what is the status of donations. That gives confidence to the public. It gives confidence to our donors as well. In these matters, there should be nothing secret.
Heat likey likey like.
Yes! On the side of the 4,000. PNP coming again! So tell your neighbor, tell your friend. Green man arriving like mule, and I take the nation for fall. But we have a new name for him. What the name? Him name Eli. Bangala. Oh, retired at the labor pay. The driver across the bus and the country going down the drain. Yes, retired at the labor pay. Poverty opposition and we going insane. Why? I didn't know.
The man said in real time, this is what the Prime Minister postulated. This is what the Prime Minister told the country. In real time, you would have...
I want thing me know. Andre can get a response out of Prime Minister. Me know you say Prime Minister coming out about say a MPF in trip got FIFA, but FIFA invite him. You see, some of them some of them argument that me just find it to be a waste of time, you know. From the real issue them, you know. Listen, me start manage my me can't deal with too much foolishness are going on with the government. You understand what I say? Him coming to tell me that, how am I gonna prove that? How am I gonna prove to me say a film out of film pocket him go overseas? Him just say that all time out. Why should I believe him? So it has become one circular argument. You feel me I deal with? Somebody even bother with it. I don't even bother. Honestly, I don't even bother. I just left it alone. But boy, Andre, take a piece of Andre, make it answer me, man. Hey, Andre's even powerful, you know? He mad powerful.
See, on the website, how the monies were donated was that ever shown to the country? The donors would have seen who donated what, etc. Was that shown to the country? No, the Director General is telling us that there's a significant issue where they found significant information security governance gaps, inadequate access management, and non-compliance with data protection requirements. So that means, you know, the donors who donated, your credit card information is not secured. It is telling you tonight. But ask yourself, who is in charge of this website that Andrew Holness created, the government used? Who is in charge of this website? This website in question is done by Amber Group. You remember the descent man? You remember the man who came here as a what? What him came here as? To do readings and do yoga. Turn self-acclaimed millionaire and billionaire under the Andrew Holness regime. Are you remembering? It's the same Amber Group in COVID. He came here as a spiritual leader and now what can go so? He came here Jamaica as a yoga instructor. I wonder if the producer can find those pictures with Holness and this man. He came here as a yoga instructor and he has become a self-acclaimed billionaire in this country under the Holness administration.
Wow.
I wonder if someone remember. It's the same Amber Group that had the deficiencies now with this website. Remember in a COVID, when you did hear say people information got lost and people's information got hacked? It's the same Amber Group. So if it is the same Amber Group that had the deficiencies in COVID, how you use the same app, Dusant, Salva Vida, something like that?
That is the question. That is the question right there. Because, listen, me know some Mystic Sensation, Wagwan Selvin, me know some Mystic Sensation I go pound to the receipt them about that. Because he has done the most, especially Mystic Sensation. It's when it comes to the Indian man, you see Mystic Sensation and what his name, Melting Pot, the two of them do the most detailed investigation upon the brother we own Amber Group. The man then totally exposed them. I'm going to tell Mystic Sensation, say, you see them video that we do before with that brother there? He need to click them up and post them. But how we actually come to Jamaica, the inconsistency in the interviews them when they do, but his own life story. The man literally come from nothing to everything Jamaica. I rub shoulder with the Prime Minister of Jamaica. The man left India poor like dirt and coming to the Caribbean and a ton millionaire. Yoga. And look for the type of thing that went on in. Data collection. Hey, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something here. You can't see it. Dangerous people, man. Dangerous.
So ask Ask yourself this, Jamaica. Ask yourself this.
What's up, Miss Birdie?
Ask yourself this,
Real
Jamaica.
Radcliffe, big up. Be a chopping a go on. Yo, me not tell no lie. The way you the Indian brother they look for Mr. Andrew only and holding hand in that picture here. That's suspicious, bro. Just me nah go around here, bro. That screams suspicious. These two affectionate, brother. Yeah, man, these two affectionate, man. Yeah, man. Me nah hold no man hands, so brother. A woman and alone me hold some look on him like that. These two affectionate. Me nah tell no lie. And in turning head and tick like so. No. What's up, Suana? No. No. Something not right with that picture here, Jamaica. Something is not right. And Jonas is a married man. I walk on here, so. Which man a turn the head and look on a man like this so close? No, Selman, if something not right, me I tell you, this is off, bro. This is off. Me know say no found to watch Andre say, but no found to never look on the picture go down. Look on the picture, me say, oh, hold on. Bro, why you man hold Andrew hand with him two hand them, you know? So he shake his hand already and the only hand and look on him like this. With such affection. Something not right. Now me understand why him take up N and N. It's all making sense now. All of the pieces are in a pot. We understand. We understand, ladies and gentlemen. We get it. We get it, man. We understand. We understand. We see what I want. We understand. We get it. No, I don't need to say nothing further.
To developing website.
Yes, from
I am
Yoga
asking
to
you
website.
tonight. Jamaican government never have the capacity to develop the website. Remember, you have so many technologies. You're gonna tell me say the government website. Never. You couldn't, Andrew Wallace, you couldn't use the government of Jamaica website to collect the money. I'm gonna say it again. You couldn't use the government of Jamaica website to collect the money. You went far, your friend, your crony. Andrew Holness, somebody tell me says your business partner. Is there any truth to the argument? Andrew Holness, do you have any shares in the Amber Group? Andrew Holness, do you have any shares in the Amber Group? Are you a silent investor in Amber Group?
That is not that's a very, very good question, ladies and gentlemen. Inquiring minds would like to know, man. This man seems like a shadow investor, or you know, like a power piece on the chessboard, Savada, or whatever I want him. When you like up the live there for me, Sandra, big up yourself. Thanks for the follow. And guys, consider becoming a part of the fan club now on TikTok. I don't really get to advertise it a lot, but yeah, man, you know, when you look hard, come over your head. If you don't love the program, make sure you become a part of the fan club. You understand? I won't have to get the likes to 50K, but you don't look like that I go work tonight. Because I'm there for almost 2 hours now and 15 minutes me have left for them. People make sure so you go check out PDTV, you know. See what I go on in the news or so. All this.
Imagine being able to build anything just by
Tourism worker on a live in a center. Why the road no good none at all, man.
I am Carrie Simpson. Here's what we have in the bulletin. St. Elizabeth communities continue to be impacted by smoke emanating from the Myersville dump. St. Mary Councillor raises concerns about unchlorinated spring for the past 2 years. And later in sports, Reggae Boys group announced for upcoming CONCACAF Nations League. Thank you for joining us. Now the details. The St. Anne Police Traffic Department is investigating a fatal motor vehicle crash that claimed the life of a tourism worker in Runaway Bay early this morning. The deceased has been identified as 31-year-old Lenward Fisher of Bel Air in Runaway Bay. Now, police say at about 2:30 a.m., Fisher was driving a 1997 Honda Civic westbound along the main road, that's the Runaway Bay main road, with 2 passengers when he reportedly lost control of the vehicle. The car overturned, crashed into a fence, and came to a stop against the utility pole. Fisher sustained severe head injuries and was pronounced dead at hospital. Now, the 2 passengers suffered minor injuries. St. Anne businessman Philpott Mitchell says speeding was a major factor and cautioned motorists to drive carefully in these zones.
This driver was partying either somewhere else and take it in the car, so he lost control. I would ask the drivers to just heal, especially when you're coming into a built-up community like CLM, that recently we have 2 new gas stations, KFC, so look out for the other drivers.
Investigations into the crash are ongoing.
Virgin, I'm gonna do the right thing here, man. I don't know if you don't understand really going, but I want to cover some things with the People's National Party, I say, no. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of things that I had missed that I would like to briefly cover as quickly as possible where the People's National Party is concerned. The women's movement is calling for psychosocial support for Shani Cook's family. That is a 10-year-old girl life that was snuffed out. She was raped and her throat was slashed, and my God, really and truly, the people need a lot of that in Jamaica. A lot of things going on, I tell you. Another situation. You guys remember the picture that I had showed you guys of the social housing program and the plaque that is on the wall? You remember that? Who remember? Well, if you don't remember, let me remind you. See there, just so ladies and gentlemen. So this is one of the homes them where Andrew Holness would have given persons social housing program. Yes. And as you can see here, the plaque says this unit was built by the government of Jamaica under the new social housing program and handed over to such and such card at blackout by Andrew Holness, Prime Minister. Let us hear what Miss Angela Brownberg has to say about this.
Of the government of dehumanizing.
Let's hear what she has to say about this, ladies and gentlemen.
Following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
A home is not a billboard. And this practice of the government of dehumanizing individuals by placking their homes is just not right. So today I am condemning this practice of affixing permanent plaques bearing the Prime Minister's name to houses built under the new Hope social housing program. Honestly, this dehumanizing act that trades the dignity of poor Jamaicans for political promotion is just really wrong. Every Jamaican deserves a safe roof over their head, yes, but no Jamaican should have to pay for that roof with their privacy and dignity. A home is a place of refuge, pride, and peace. It is not and should never be a billboard. Yet that is exactly what this government has turned these homes into. A permanent advertisement announcing that the people inside were once in need. What a shame. When you put one person's name on a house that is actually paid for by all of us, you send a dangerous message. You tell struggling families that they should be personally grateful to an individual instead of being assured of their right as citizens. Worse, you mark them. You expose vulnerable mothers, children, and elders to stigma and public scrutiny for the rest of their lives. That is not social protection. This is branding, political branding.
Visit our website at pnp.org. Wing is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit, JM, or check us out on Facebook at Jamaica PNP.
Andrew, this is an absolute disgrace. An absolute disgrace, ladies and gentlemen. The man is so full of SHIT, it's ridiculous. The man is so self-centered and narcissistic. The man a real GERMS in a man. And who can spell ketchup? I swear. The man really put a plaque with the people them name on it. Imagine somebody I look for them people here and then see plaque on it. Oh, I like the person that live there. And then come to analyze them. Put the people them in a danger. And then through potential political pressures. So poor people don't want nobody knows so them support labor right. And furthermore, our tax dollars and the labor right tax dollars bill it, our tax dollars. Every single Jamaican. Our tax dollars do that. And the people that need help, you have to left for a reminder to them say, yo, remember, say I needed help, you know. And this is the lowest of the low, and it needs to be highlighted. The lowest of the low. This disqualifies you from being in representational politics. Because you don't know what it means to be a servant of the people. You are only serving yourself with this particular plaque all over the people in wall. What an absolute disgrace. This makes Andrew Owens look bad. And advertently and simultaneously, the people they must feel away, and they should feel away. They should feel away. And that is the reason why this made the internet, you know. Because as somebody send me it, and then take out the person, you're like, oh my God, you can imagine you visit a friend, and you see them long time and their house fix up, and when you look, you see one plaque built by Andrew Owens. Eh? My God, man. Why may I tell you? Let's continue, ladies and gentlemen.
People of Jamaica, we support every single effort to rebuild for the people of Jamaica. Every single effort to rebuild for the people of Jamaica. And whatever we can do from where we stand to accelerate, fast track that process, make it happen quicker, we will do so, because we want the people to be restored to the condition they were in and be improved to even better conditions. We support
100%. Art of love, may I tell you, PMP embody that. You understand what I deal with? Hey, you know, more big up Mr. Lowton Cousins. Virgin, let me tell you something, more big up the whole PMP as a matter of fact. Yeah, man, all I want, man. You want to put in some serious work, and we still are asking you to do more, because the struggle is real and the fight is real, you know. And me I tell you, you see that spiritual side of it, everybody have a personal responsibility. We're not going to make it right to the Most High, me I tell you. Make it right to the Most High, ladies and gentlemen. Beckon unto him. August 6th, they're right around the corner, you know. May I invite all our PMP to come and Huntsman Clarendon. Mr. Lowton Cousins, if you see this video, sir, may I invite you and your entire team to come and Huntsman Clarendon. It's nothing political. You understand what I say? We are the whole like politicians and we believe in a God. We need to come together and ball out to God for save you from the wicked and caring government. Let's listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's listen to this.
We are deeply concerned by the recent utterances by the government, seemingly suggesting that modular homes cannot be delivered to the people in Western Jamaica because of land tenure issues. This is not a new issue. We have been raising this concern for months, The government is simply not listening, has not listened, and is most uncaring. It is time for action. Modular homes are chattel. They can easily be affixed to any property. We can solve this problem by engaging the justices of the peace in each respective communities to confirm that the residents who are affected are indeed legitimate beneficiaries. Let's stop beating around the bush. It's time to deliver to the people. The hurricane season is upon us, and the longer we delay, the longer we take to deliver the homes, we leave our people exposed. Now is not the time for bureaucracy and red tape and for rigidity. We need to ensure that the people are protected and secured in the peak of another hurricane season.
Visit our website at pnp.
Me say, if you did tell me, say, 10 months after the storm, an opposition MP would have to come out, come say what him say a while ago. And Jonas has been telling us that there's too much bureaucracy. And them jump over red tape for buy, for instruct people, for go buy, what them call it something there? Elon Musk internet something, man. What them call it? Somebody help me out. Daryl Vaz never jump red tape. Starlink, thank you, Mario. Daryl Vaz jump red tape and instruct people to go purchase Starlink when the Starlink them. One thing Starlink them I couldn't plug in a wall them because them and a right plug in. I walk on with them. Did we get back our money? Was it sent back, Andrea? As a top mother, was it sent back? Jody, was it sent back? But, you know, this idea that because the people them now have no land, they can't get the modular home them. We don't plan to give people them no home, brother. I'm glad Lotan Cousins calling out. Big up Mr. Lotan Cousins. I actually don't even know. Yo, brother, I tell you, so much things are going simultaneously. Me love how the PMP has stay sharp. And me I go echo. Me I go play it again, you know. Me I go play it again. We have to echo that message. No, it's serious.
We are deeply concerned by the recent utterances by the government, seemingly suggesting that modular homes cannot be delivered to the people in Western Jamaica because of land tenure issues. This is not a new issue. We have been raising this concern for months. The government is simply not listening, has not listened, and is most uncaring.
Listen to me, man. I'm from a long time, Mr. Cousins that talk about this, you know. And somebody did know say him when I go deal with that portfolio, you know. And him did break the plan them about giving people land title, you know, where they pan lands and cutting down the years, you know. The plans of the PMP. Cedric, big up. Only remember? And when I heard that, I said, Jesus, this is going to be the greatest transfer of wealth from the government to the people of Jamaica. Can you imagine everybody where they pan, what they call squatters land? Squatters. Can you imagine if those people was PMP was in power and those people were given the opportunity to own that land, to take time, pay feet and pay them taxes, ladies and gentlemen, and have equity in an ownership of their land? Me say if the PMP did win, you would have seen the greatest transfer of wealth from the government to the people of Jamaica. What are we seeing? The reverse, where Andrew Holness and the government do. And knock down people place. At that them I do right now, and them I look for move people from party and put them in a modular home because they want to do them development. People already have the entitled for them and them something, you know. I use hurricane as style, you know. So it's not safe to live there. From 60 years to 25 years. The man might go change the law. It would why the JLP not change the law? Them in a power. Them hear the idea. Why them not change it? Because them don't care about the people them. See Bobby Montague, they are wheeling axe. Only not see what go on. The total opposite of what the PNP they didn't want to do for the people. Them. The Jamaica Labour Party is doing the total opposite of it. Of course, there are some 1 or 2 people that might title and rate. But we know where politics go. I bet if you were to investigate who is receiving those titles, hello, somebody, the loyal ones, yes? The loyal ones for that party, yes. You remember when Marissa Dalrymple name did come up with this girl, and it was said that the girl have a house, and Marissa Dalrymple, I don't know where it go, like she get another house. She get one poor leave house while she have a house, and she turned that the house there. Something to that effect. Daryl, I think Joy Bryan they break the story, and the voice note they come out, and she and the girl on a cuss. As a beer bag of nasty corruption then go on with Jamaica. Nepotism and cronyism. You never know.
It is time for action. Modular homes are chattel. They can easily be affixed to any property. We can solve this problem by engaging the justices of the peace in each respective communities to confirm that the residents who are affected are indeed legitimate beneficiaries. Let's stop beating around the bush. It's time to deliver to the people. The hurricane season is upon us, and the longer we delay, the longer we take to deliver the homes, we'll leave our people exposed. Now is not the time for bureaucracy and red tape and for rigidity. We need to ensure that the people who are most exposed are protected and secured in the peak of another hurricane season.
And Jamaica, let me tell you something. You see anybody, God forbid, that should lose their life in this hurricane season, that was a victim of Hurricane Melissa, I am charging the blood of those people and Andrew Onas's hands. He would be directly responsible for it because of not moving with speed and alacrity in helping the people. He told us that ADPEM and all of this and how we're going to move with speed and resilience and NARA. All bag of promise. Let's go to this right here. Oh, wonderful. Mr. Chris Brown touched on the Support Jamaica platform. Let's hear what he has to say.
Had been donated. The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
The revelations at Wednesday's meeting of the Public Accounts Committee regarding the Support Jamaica website are deeply concerning and raise serious questions about governance, cybersecurity, data protection, and accountability. The committee learned that the platform created after Hurricane Melissa to provide relief information and facilitate donations is not owned by the government of Jamaica. By February 2026, approximately 1.4 billion had been donated through the platform. The committee was also informed that the private entity that developed the website retains ownership and has access to donor information. Even more concerning is that the committee learned that assurances previously published on the ADPEM website regarding data protection compliance, the appointment of a data protection officer, and privacy safeguards were not accurate. The Auditor General's report further indicated that information provided to the public regarding data privacy, access to donor information, and related safeguards could not be substantiated. This raises serious concerns about public trust. Jamaicans must be able to rely on official government platforms to provide accurate information and to ensure that their personal data and contributions are properly protected. The situation also raised a fundamental question. Why was a platform of such national importance and sensitivity not developed, owned, and managed by government-employed technology professionals from the outset? If the government does not have the internal capacity to design and secure a platform of this nature, that represents a significant gap that must be urgently addressed. I'm therefore calling upon the government, the Office of the Prime Minister, ADPEM, and the ministries.
Jamaica, this man asked the same question that Andre asked. And I was asking it like, why would I never, who made this decision?
what reasonable argument you can make to me as to why you would agree for them to have the power that they have over the website with the government advertising and name attached to it? They don't have no own system. If you man gonna make the system for no cool. If that are in service, but you should own it. Make sure that it's properly protected and everything. And why was the Auditor General or anybody that has the expertise was not, involved in the process? And you see, this goes back to what, in my mind, what Mark Golding said, Mark Golding said, listen, in response to this hurricane thing here, we need to get everybody, all stakeholders involved. If they had got all stakeholders involved, I guarantee you we wouldn't have this problem with this Support Jamaica Foundation, Support Jamaica website. Because there would be enough people in the room that has a know-it-all and expertise to say, yeah, we gotta make sure it's done like this and send it out. So there's no legal liabilities and transparency and trust. Mark Golding understood the assignment, ladies and gentlemen, that everybody needed to be on board in the recovery process so things can be done transparently and quickly at the same time. Effective and efficient, right? Effective and efficiency and accountability would have been the order of the day if egos were not involved. But you see, I have to tell you, God is at play here, because God a hard no heart and make pride that take over on because just to make fall on the face. And this is a big blunder by the government. This is not no small time thing. We can tell you that right now. This is a problem. So all I elaborate them were out there going like so they want to divert the conversation. The devil is a liar. This is not going anywhere. Because why anybody would have want to continue to donate to Support Jamaica website and it's not owned by the government? What am I going to update and say, yeah man, anyone say the developer have access to the data information and that is okay because what? You mean the same developer when it have problem in the pandemic? You don't read the article, come like you don't know what going here, man.
Responsible for digital transformation to urgently resolve the address and have the internal capacity to design and secure a platform of this nature that represents a significant gap that must be urgently addressed. I'm therefore calling upon the government, the Office of the Prime Minister, ODPEM, and the ministry responsible for digital transformation to urgently resolve the outstanding issues relating to ownership, data protection, access controls, cybersecurity safeguards, and accountability. The Jamaican people deserve confidence that government digital platforms entrusted with their information and contributions are secure, transparent, and accountable.
Visit our website at pnp.org.jm.
Ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't have said it better myself, man. The man them don't have the capacity to develop them own website, brother. And these are the same people talking about they want to go fully digital. Unnecessary, them idiot. Unnecessary, they not have no sense. And then have the best interest at heart. I don't support no fully digital system. But even if you're going to go partially digital, you need to have safeguards in place. And if you can develop a website to collect people money and make sure so then data is protected and there's not outside access by people that you can easily deem unauthorized, that would cause a problem of the trust levels going down.
That means someone ready for them something they want to talk about this grandiose plan of a fully digital. No. I don't support it. I'll never support it because I know it's a apartheid beast system. I will never support it. You feel me? But big up Mr. Christopher Brown and Mr. Lowton Cousins and of course Jensek and the beautiful and intelligent Dr. Angela Brown Burke. I never said Dr. Dr. Nathan Campbell as well. Mr. Lowton Cousins and us Mr. Lowton Cousins and Christopher Brown. All these issues, from being an uncaring government, the social housing program, the modular homes not being administered because they matter about flimsy excuse about land when them can fix that easily. It's just the political will. They don't care about the people, and it's just the truth. And it's proven over and over again, ladies and gentlemen. Over and over again. Well, let me know what you think in the comment section, man. Let me know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for pulling up on your boy. I've been on here for 2 hours and 10 minutes. And I'm about to go, baby, go. Bolo TBV. We're there for about 6 hours, man, to end the live. I'll start the next one early tomorrow on Bolo TBV and do some throwback. But I'm going to line up some different videos. You understand what I say? Specifically around SSL. I'm going to line up the SSL video then. I go back in the SSL thing because me and Andre bring up back that brother there. So I'm going to line up back my SSL video then. Every video to do with SSL, I'm going to line them up back on Bolo TBV. So we're going to do a Saturday marathon on Bolo TBV about SSL. Alright, so people on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube page. The link is in the bio. Once you subscribe to that YouTube page, go into the bio of that YouTube page and you see all the other links to my other YouTube page. And subscribe, follow me on all platforms. Zine, yes, the word is love. Look at more my people. Cali, big up. Everybody, big up on yourself. Love and respect. Hold on, we can't just left you someone. I've left you with the music.
10 years, you say. 10 long years and look how Jamaica stay. No light, no road, no food, pan we plate. People are suffer while Andrew a live great. You stand up on the platform, smile wide and proud. I tell we about prosperity, but we can't see it all now. Hurricane come through and left the people here. 6 months later, them still out there, asleep under the air. Their JLP friends them build high rise, road still full of hope. House pocket to a field, while the nation lose its soul. Hospital overflow, picnic can't get bed. School roof a leak, but you and Juliet well fed. You always have excuse, always pass the blame. Every time something wrong, it never go in your name. Jamaica a drown and you claim you're unclean. Biggest actor in the politics we ever see it. Boldness, time to go, time to go. The people, we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know, hear us. We are not on the door. Boldness, time to go, time to go. From Kingston to Legrand, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Boldness, time to go. Farmer can't afford to plant food, price reach the sky. You're bringing the poverty while your own people cry. We born ya, we grow ya, we bleed for this land. But Andrew at the top won't extend the man. You talk about vision, you talk about plan. But 10 years later, we still can't understand. Corruption report London, nobody charge. The people pocket small, but the scandal them large. Who's crack up parish council, bro? Country suffocate, done and it just smoke. And when we raise, we vice so